Hello my peeps, this Algebra Nation video will cover the workbook, Algebra Nation workbook, that is, be specific, page 96, and we're also going to do page 97, more specifically, for clarification, the left side of page 97.
In this video, we are multiplying monomials. We're going to have a monomial and another one, and we're going to multiply them together. In short, what you need to know is you're going to be multiplying the coefficients and adding the exponents. For this first example, we have 4c squared times 2c cubed r cubed. And we're going to multiply them together. And to do this, we have a monomial times another monomial. We'll multiply the coefficients, and we'll add the exponents. The coefficients, remember, are those numbers 4 and 2, the numbers in front of the variables in this case. So we have 4 times 2, and that would give you 8. Then remember, whenever you have variables that are the same, you can add the exponents. Because remember, c squared is c times c, and c cubed is c times c times c. Meaning that would be c times c, c times c times c, and as you can see, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or c to the 5th power. But in short, you're just going to add the exponents. 2 plus 3 will give you c to the 5th. And lastly, r cubed. R cubed is by itself, but you still multiply it because it's still in the answer. And that would be how you multiply monomials. You multiply the coefficients and you add the exponents. So to kind of recap here, let's look at that one more time. A monomial times a monomial. 4 times 2. You multiply together, and that gives you 8. Then, c squared times c cubed. Multiply together, add the exponents to give you c to the 5th, and the r cubed you just bring down, and that's your answer. Let's do another. Here I have negative 6j to the 3rd n squared times 7c squared n cubed. What are we going to do? Multiply the coefficients, add the exponents. Here I have negative 6 times 7. And hey, if you need to, we've got that calculator, right? So let's bring that thing out and multiply. Negative 6 times 7, the actual coefficients. 6, make it a negative. So again, 6, make it a negative, times 7 will give you negative 42. Then we go through all the variables. J to the 3rd power. It's also called j cubed. Nothing else. So we just bring it down, j cubed. N squared, also called n to the 2nd power, times n cubed, or n to the 3rd power. Again, we're going to add the exponents. 2 plus 3 will give you n to the 5th. The last variable is c squared, which I would just bring down. So again, you're going to multiply the coefficients and add the exponents. And hey, if you want to show your work on these types of problems, remember, there's that wall below. Go ahead and post your questions and your answers so we can see how to go ahead and do different examples. But right now, I want you to try to get ready to pause the video. I've got 2 for you guys to try. Ready? Pause now. Here we go. Negative 3 times negative 6, because those are the 2 coefficients for this monomial times this other monomial. Negative times a negative, remember, a negative times a negative is positive. But if you want to check, we got the calculator. 3, make it a negative, times 6, make it a negative, equals 18. Next up, I see a times a to the 3rd power. What is a by itself? That would be raised to what power, everyone? That would be a to the 1st. So here we have a to the 1st times a to the 3rd. When you have the same variable, you're going to multiply, or excuse me, you're going to add the powers together. So 1 plus 3 will give you 4. And then d cubed you're going to bring down. Let's do another. Here I have d e cubed times 4 d cubed r cubed. In this case, we have a single coefficient 4. That's fine. We just bring the 4 down. D is d to the 1st. So in this case, we have d to the 1st times d to the 3rd. When you multiply, you're going to go ahead and add the exponents. So So 1 plus 3 will give you d to the 4th. E to the 3rd, nothing else to multiply by, so it's still multiplied in the answer. And r to the 3rd, same thing. There's your two answers for the ones that you tried. Now, let's beat that test. Here we've got Carolina, simplified expression shown below. Her final answer was in the form h to the m, k to the n. If she simplified the expression correctly, which we're going to do, what is the value of n, the exponent on k? So all they want is the value of n, the exponent on k. But let's go ahead and do the whole problem here. We have a monomial times a monomial. H to the 3rd times h to the 3rd. When you multiply, you're going to add the exponents. 3 plus 3 will give you h to the 6th. K would be k to the 1st times k to the 3rd. When you multiply, you add the exponents. 1 plus 3 will give you 4. So the exponent on k would be 4, and the answer is just 4. Although think of other questions they could ask. How could you take this and ask different questions? And if you want to post those questions below for other people to answer. I could think of one. They could ask you, what is the value for m, the exponent on h? And there's other variations you can go ahead and share on the wall below. So remember, when you're multiplying monomials, you're going to multiply the coefficients, add the exponents. If you have any questions, we got that wall. If you want more practice, we got a practice problems folder for you to practice more.